Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. I hope that you are all doing well and that summer has been good so far. We have had several adventures over the past few weeks, so I thought that I would share a bit about what's been going on and take you on an adventure to the book outlet. So one of the adventures started when Susie Q, my Suzuki SX4, died a fairly peaceful death. And if you've been watching my channel, at least since before Christmas last year, then you might remember that my mom gifted me with personalized license plates for Christmas, and they say Adventure Girl. So Susie was the first official adventure mobile that I've had, and we were together for over 11 years. And Susie and I spent a lot of time together. So I wrote an obituary for her, and I thought that I would share that with you. So here it goes. R.I.P. Susie Q. January 2010, London, Ontario, to June 2021, St. Catharines, Ontario. Earlier this week, in her 12th year, carrying those who used and loved her most, our adventure mobile Susie Q drove her last few kilometers. She is survived by the Smith gals, along with the pups, Pandy and Jax. Predeceased by 2 Saturns and her first furry friend, Trio, she will be missed by all who spent time with her. Susie loved to travel. Road trips were her favorite, visiting Maine, Denver, Ottawa, and Montreal. She enjoyed the occasional drive-through and double feature at the drive-in. She was a lover of music. Not only did she attend many concerts, but Susie serenaded all of her passengers, cranking the car tunes as she cruised by her friends. She also loved a good drink and could easily guzzle 40 liters of regular unleaded on a good day. She had a talent for fitting into small parking spaces and used her 6 gears to connect people all over Canada and the US. Susie was able to relax more in the last year and a half of her life. The global pandemic meant less demands on her, and she spent more time catching some rays in the parking lot with her friends Toyota White and the other car Blue. We were lucky to have her, as she worked hard her entire life and was getting mighty tired. She was a great asset in 3 of our moves, transferring boxes, furniture, dogs, groceries, and people everywhere she went. When her odometer read 289,000 kilometers, Susie was down to 1 key fob. Could no longer tell time. Her lights were no longer bright, connections were no longer connecting, and her battery was running low. The family would like to thank Susie's medical team, Dean and Eric, for doing the odd emergency repair surgery and keeping her safe and in good condition. Susie, like her driver, is an organ donor, and we take comfort knowing her organs will be used to help other vehicles live longer and healthier lives. A private service will be taking place later this week. It was actually earlier this week. In honor of Susie Q, memorial donations can be made to Joe's new car fund. So when the tow truck driver showed up to take Susie away, it was kind of sad. And he asked me if I had any last words before he drove away. And I said no, that I had already taken care of that when I wrote her obituary. And I'm sure that he probably thought I was nuts. So the exciting part about this adventure is that I had to get a new car. So I want to introduce you to Harvey. Harvey and I are still getting to know each other. But so far we are doing pretty well. Harvey is from the Honda family, and he has many bells and whistles that Susie did not have. So that's a nice perk. And now while all of this was going on, the elevator in our apartment building also died, and they are saying that it will take 6 to 8 weeks to fix because they are supposedly waiting for parts. So this isn't a huge problem for me, but the building is 85% elderly people. So some people are literally stuck in their apartment, including my mom, who lives with me. So she hasn't had the opportunity to go on a joyride with me and celebrate Harvey. But when we can get her out of here, we are hoping to like really whoop it up and, well, paint the town. So now getting a new car is exciting, but I thought it might be important to take Harvey on, you know, some important adventure rides. So one of the first places that I thought we would go would be to the book outlet store. And I thought I would take all of you along as well. So many of you probably already know about the book outlet because you can order books online for really cheap prices. And you might recognize boxes that look like this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will leave a link to the Canadian and the US site in the description box below. The cool thing is, besides their distribution center, which is not too far from me, the book outlet also has a store, and I only live about 2 minutes away from that. So I thought that I would take you there and show you a little bit of it. I didn't take video through all of it because it's quite large. The building itself is quite large, even though it doesn't look like it from the entrance. They have shopping carts, which is so amazing and also quite dangerous for my budget. So I try not to need a cart. But when I first started going there, I used to use a cart all the time. And the first time that I went there, I hyperventilated. It has been renovated a couple of times in the last 10 years, and it keeps getting better. So I usually start in the fiction section and I work my way to other sections. Have a historical fiction section, and they used to have places for people to sit and read, but they had to remove that during COVID. So we are still in phase 2 here, but we should be going into phase 3 next week. Keep your fingers crossed. So things aren't locked down like they used to be, but we aren't really as free as other provinces in Canada and other states in the US. Their children's section is huge. It's massive. It takes up the entire back section of the warehouse. And I always check out the Canadian section, of course. That's my thing. And I usually pick up 1 or 2 books from the Canadian section. And this time I did pick up 2 books, but it turned out I already had them. So I will have to return those, which they are very good about. As long as you have your receipt, you can get store credit or exchange for another book. So it's a good reason for having to take Harvey back there. For those of you who like mystery or sci-fi, they have huge sections for those as well. There's also religion, New Age, biography, science, and history. And I usually take a gander at the classics and even the poetry section. These are 2 smaller sections in the store, but every once in a while you can find a few gems in there. Plus, before COVID, and I'm hoping that they will do this again, they used to have box sales 1 or 2 times per year, and it's usually a 3-day event, and people travel from several hours away to come to it. Unfortunately, you can't do this part online, so it's one of the perks of living close by. They use their back warehouse, which is about the same size as the store, and you can fill a box for $25 plus taxes. And the store isn't included in that, but the store always has a scratch and dent section, and they will sometimes have a half off sale or a buy 2 and get 1 free. So they're always doing something for sales, and they are always doing sales online as well. So check that out if you haven't already. So today I did pick up 5 books, but as I said, I already had the 2 Canadian classics, so now they don't count. But the 3 that I'm keeping are Pond by Claire-Louise Bennett, and this is AJ's fault that I purchased this. I will put a link to AJ's channel in the description box below. AJ has talked about this on their channel a few times, and I know that they love the cover of this, so I thought that I would check it out. And then to celebrate Harvey's first book adventure, I picked up The Adventurist by Bradford Hips. I have no idea what it's about, but I liked the title and thought it was fitting, so maybe it will be a pleasant surprise. And then the last book has actually been on my wish list, and that is Thunder Through My Veins by Gregory Scofield. This book was on the Canada Reads long list, and it is a memoir. Gregory is Métis and of Korean European ancestry, so this book is actually pretty high up on my TBR pile. Plus it was only $5, so I can handle that. Book Outlet does have these price stickers on their books, but they are easy to take off, and they don't they're like some places where they cover like half the front of the book, and then you can't get the prices off, or if you do, it could ruin the cover. So these ones aren't too bad, and that's one of my reading pet peeves, but these are pretty good stickers, so they come off quite easily. So this video isn't being sponsored in any way. It is just me sharing my love of the Book Outlet with you. Let me know if you have something like the Book Outlet near where you live, or maybe if you were to visit the Book Outlet, let me know what section you would head to first. Would you use a cart? I know I sure did. I'm hoping to share some more adventures with you soon. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.